Things change. Martin Abrams is a Momentum National Coordinating Group member and a Labour councillor. He joins me now. Morning, Martin.
Good morning, Matthew.
Your appraisal of Keir Starmer's first 100 days, please.
Well, listen, the country desperately needed a change in government. Let's be clear about that. The Tories were steeped in sleaze, corruption, and they had dragged the country down into the mud. You know, they were a festering, stagnating government. So the election of a Labour government was long overdue and very welcome. But I suppose you could describe Labour's first 100 days in government as the good, the bad, and the ugly. So good, public ownership of railways, the Employment Rights Bill, scrapping anti-trade union laws, and renters reform. You know, these are all really good Labour Party policies. But there's bad. The winter fuel allowance, the two-child benefit cap, and, you know, I have to say this, Matthew, the continued support and supply of weapons to Israel after at least 41,000 people have been killed, with almost half of those being children in Gaza. And the ugly, you know, this Giftgate scandal, you know, the Taylor Swift tickets. You know, how many politicians need to go and see Taylor Swift? The football tickets. And let me be clear, you know, that's not the worst of it. The ugliest part of that, Matthew, is the £4 million donation that the Labour Party accepted from a murky hedge fund based in the Cayman Islands. And let's be clear, there is no such thing as a free lunch. People do not donate anything to a political party expecting nothing in return. So all these donors, you know, Lord Ali, all these hedge funds that are donating to the Labour Party are expecting something in return.
Lord Ali is a Labour peer. So Labour gifting Labour stuff doesn't strike me as half as dodgy as, I don't know, Rishi Sunak billing the taxpayer for a helicopter. That doesn't seem, you know, you don't need a helicopter, do you?
Well, Matthew, it's not a race to the bottom. You know, as Yasmin rightly said, you know, Keir Starmer positioned himself as the trustworthy politician, as the trustworthy leader. Okay, as soon as he gets into, before he got into government, but then the register of interest shows that he absolutely loves a freebie and would not stand up against a very murky multi-million-pound donation from a hedge fund based in the Cayman Islands. You know, this is basically Tory standard sleaze and cronyism, and we expect way better from the Labour Party. But I think this really goes to show, Matthew, that Keir Starmer is just not very good at politics. And I'm very concerned because his personal approval ratings at the moment are some of the worst for any Prime Minister after 100 days. Yeah. And I think the more people see of Keir Starmer, the less they like.
Can I ask, Martin, is it sleaze? Because Yasmin focused very much on sleaze as the thing I think that she felt most upset about. I'll take your good, bad and ugly appraisal, but is sleaze for you a sort of primary sticking point?
I mean, of course it is, but, you know, I want to see more socialist policies as well, Matthew. You know, this country is in an absolutely terrible state. The NHS is on its absolute knees. You know, our public services are crumbling. So, you know, we really need to see a programme that will, you know, inject, you know, huge amounts of money. And, you know, I do not buy in to the narrative that we do not have enough money to fix our public services, Matthew. We are the sixth richest country in the world. We can afford to make our NHS, you know, a gold standard NHS. And, you know, the budget must include a genuine end to austerity and a huge increase investment in our public services and local government.
Okay, Martin, thank you for that. I'm mystified as to where all the money goes, because we are such a large economy and we do seem to be struggling in so many Whitehall departments. Lee messages, the biggest problem in this country is the economy, inactivity in the job market and the exploding population crisis, which is overloaded.